Good morning, everyone. It's Summer Game Fest, and because of that, today's streams are thrown for a loop. This podcast is going to be way shorter than it usually is. We're going to have an abridged gameplay stream, and then I'm heading over to my React channel to do a live react to the Summer Game Fest event. So, we got a lot to talk about, including game news, including my day off, including what went down on Wednesday, what's going down in the schedule, and we've got to do it in a very short period of time. So let's get this show started. It's the Level 1 Podcast. Alrighty, everyone. It is Friday, the 7th of June, 2024. I'm DSP, and I welcome you here to the show. A shortened show. Usually we would have many more segments and Q&A and all of that. We're not going to have that today because we got only about maybe 40 minutes to get through this show before I want to swap over to gameplay and do about an hour and a half or more of Fallout 4 before Summer Game Fest. So, let us jump right in. So, yesterday was my day off. Let's talk about what went down on Wednesday during my streams quickly. And then we'll talk about the stuff that I did yesterday and what's going on today and the schedule coming up and some game news, okay? So, Wednesday, we went back to AAA games because I did an entire day of indies the day before. And again, as I've been telling you guys, sadly, it seems like the more I play indie games, they're just not catching on with my audience for some odd reason. I really liked Pro Country. Half the people on the stream just sat there and complained. Looks too old. Looks like a PS1 game. Well, I don't know what to tell you. That's what it's based off of, but it's a nostalgia throwback, and it's a great game in my opinion, right? Oh, Hades 2. It's too early access to play it. Oh, I don't like this. It's top down. I don't like the graphics. And it's like, people wanted indies for many, many years. I give them the indies, and now they just complain and don't show up. So that's kind of what I'm facing right now. So, on Wednesday, it was the opposite. It was AAA day. And let me tell you, as expected, everything turned around. We got better attendance. People were not complaining constantly about the games being played. Support was pretty good. Here you go. So again, it just seems like that's the audience that I have at this point in 2024. And it's sad because I would love to play indie games, but I don't know what else to tell you, all right? Fallout 4 went really well. Had a good time with it. Kind of doing the final quests for the Underground, basically till we advance the plot, where we're to the point where you have to teleport into the Institute. Finally maxed out my affinity with Curie, so I got the companion perk, which I've wanted the whole game. Now I swapped companions to Hancock, and basically just moving on, doing some other optional questing because I don't feel like doing the main story yet. So great stream of that. Street Fighter 6 on Wednesday night. The return to Blanca. Man, it was a little weird, and here's why. Everyone can probably agree that Blanca's likely my best character, right? First of all, he's not low tier. All the other characters I'm playing with in the game are technically low tier. But Blanca is around mid-tier, maybe low-high tier, depending on who you ask or who's controlling him. And because of that, I feel like I've played more and done better with Blanca than I have with other characters. So jumping into him, now with little to no input delay, right? It was going to be interesting, and interesting indeed it was. However, I'd say it, not interesting in a positive way where, like, oh, I'm dominating. It was the opposite. Like, I was actually playing quite poorly, and I think it's a combination of factors. Number one, the fact that Blanca is a more common character than the other characters that I use means that a lot of people out there just know how to fight him more effectively than, say, Honda or Lily or Dalcine, right? When you've had that matchup way more and you've got practice, you're going to play better against it, and therefore it's harder for me to hang when people are just playing better and know more about what to do in each situation against Blanca. The other thing is, now with this change to the input delay, I have to relearn everything. Like, the strategies are sound, but the timing is completely off. There was a lot of combos and things that I was doing. I was way off and dropping them. Like, oh my God, this was like game. This is the end of the game if I land a combo and I drop it. And I'm like, man, for me, it's disappointing. Now, here's the thing. It's not the game, it's not the joystick, it's me. I got to get used to timing now because I'm playing in a completely different timing situation. The entire first hour of playing with Blanca was almost a disaster. Like, I barely won at all. I remember I lost. Like, oh my God, this is really bad. Like, trying to learn and get better, and I feel like I'm taking 2 steps back rather than 2 steps forward. FYI, it was disappointing for the first hour, rage-inducing. And then I had this turnaround. I was playing a modern Zangief Master Rank, who was basically doing instant 360s and instant level 3 supers, okay? And I lost 2 straight to this guy. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to give up. I'm going to recommit. So I kept going. Normally, I would just lose 2 and quit and get to a new set. So I do a third match. As I start to play the third match, it starts to click. Here's what to do. Here's what's not to do. Here's the timing a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? So basically I kind of recommit, and basically I win that match. And I'm like, ooh, now I'm kind of like reinvigorated. I play it out, and even though it's super close, really good set. This is all the end of the first video from the other night. I think I want to say it was like part 18 or 19 or something like that. So it's a drawn out 5-match set. I come back and I win 3 straight, so I actually win the set technically. Okay? I was like, oh my God. So after that, I felt reinvigorated, and the second hour of Blanca gameplay, I played way better. My timing started to get better. I started to do different things that I haven't done before, and this is the cool thing. Now that I don't have the input delay problem anymore, I can experiment more. It's not, oh, I just have to regurgitate this pattern that I've learned that works with this lag that I have. Instead, I could experiment with, okay, let me try a low attack here. Let me try an overhead here. Let me try a throw here that I never would before. And it's working. The mixing up is definitely working. I feel like I'm improving with Blanca, and now I'm utilizing I call it the rainbow roll, because that's what it used to be called when they first instituted it in Super Street Fighter. What it is Honka's roll, where he does that little backflip and then a roll aerially forward in like an arc, like a rainbow. So this roll has been dramatically improved in Street Fighter 6 with this latest patch update, and I started comboing it and doing big combos with it. I'm like, oh, this is excellent. So I'm going to try to keep, using that in my gameplay moving forward. So anyway, we're good. In that regard, everything seemed to be going well, and I was excited, and I had a good set and everything. And basically, by the end of the night, I did recover. Even though the whole first hour I had lost a ton, by the end of the night, I had 29 wins and 25 losses. Funny part about that is, that's far worse than I did with Lily. That's worse than I did with Zangief, and this is the character I'm supposed to be better with. So the character who I'm supposed to be better with, I did worse. And the characters who I used to suck with, I'm doing better. Interesting how these balance patch changes are affecting things, right? So anyway, that was awesome. I'm definitely excited for more moving forward. The one thing everyone has to remember is, unlike many other or most other people playing Street Fighter 6 at any kind of a competitive level, I'm playing with far more characters. I have 5 mains, right? I have Honda, Lily, Dalsim, Zangief, and Blanca. I have 5 mains. Most people are only playing tops 1 or 2 characters. Yes, they'll play with the new character when they come out, and they'll dabble in other things, but mostly they're, narrowing down to a select 1 or 2. And because of that, and because I'm playing far less than them, these people who play Street Fighter 6 at this level, this master level, they're likely playing all the time. I play it like twice a week, right? So it's very hard. Like, for example, this balance patch came out over 2 weeks ago. Only now have I finally played with all of my characters once. It took me over 2 weeks to get through that, right? And now it's like, well, I want to get back into Akuma. Dude, I haven't played Akuma in 2 weeks. You realize that? It's been 2 weeks since I played Akuma. Everyone else has been sitting there playing them nonstop. So I am behind the 8 ball when it comes to this being a variety creator. It is what it is, right? So I'm having a good time. I can't wait to jump back in. The lag-free input, or input lag-free, I should say, is amazing. I just need to adjust and play better. And the thing is, I know I will in time. It's just going to take time, okay? So that's what happened on Wednesday, okay? Also, some other technical things. Like, I had to restart my computer and stuff like that, which was annoying. But it is what it is. Everything seems to be fine, technically now. But it was weird. I came in here and I was like, why is my camera not looking good again? I was like, did I restart? I couldn't even remember. Last week was a really tiring week. Let's put it that way. Like last week, there was a lot going on for me behind the scenes. I had to do that private react video. There was corruption in a video while I was trying to film it. It threw me for a loop. Basically, a lot of stuff is all fucked up. And I got to get back into the swing of things this week. But now it's going to be hard because we got all these special events, which we're going to talk about in a moment, okay? But before we get to that, I think it's time for us to talk about Phil's day off because I was off from streaming yesterday. So what was I up to? So first of all, this is interesting. As you know, I've been talking about this recently, all these upgrades I've been doing, right? Upgrading my capture device and all of this, better video quality, no input delay and all of this. Well, definitely we're down to the discussion now where this PC that I'm using is 10 years old. Literally, it's now 10 years old. I think I got it in June or July of 2014 when I moved out here, okay? It's not that it's on its last legs, but a lot of things are starting to fail. Like, this thing had an insane amount of fans for no good reason. I think it was built to be like a high-end gaming rig, thinking you were going to overclock and constantly be pumping it to its limits. I've literally never done that. So it had, like, I'm not kidding, 2 fans on the top of the case, 2 fans on the bottom of the case, 2 fans on either side of the case, 1 giant fan on the back of the case, on the actual processor, an insanely huge heatsink with a fan on the front and the back, okay? And that's not even, that's the ones I can think of off the top of my head. Well, sadly, a lot of these fans are starting to die, okay? I can already tell you, like, the one on the back died, the 2 fans on the right-hand side died, 1 of the fans on the left-hand side died, and 1 of the fans on the processor thing died. So they're all died. It's 10 years. They don't last forever. The bearings wear out, right? Not going to rotate forever. So being that half these fans are dying out, they're still, other half are still working fine, by the way. You know, I'm wondering, you know, what's going to happen with all the temperatures on this PC, okay? So I actually got a program that's supposed to read the temperatures of everything in your PC, right? Yes, I know I can buy replacement fans. I'm well aware of that, okay? But since this has all been happening recently, I say the last 2-3 months, a lot of them have been dying. And I'm like, okay, let's see how this is going to affect stuff. So I got this testing program, you know, what's the heat of everything? And I open it up, and it says, get this, it says, your GPU, which is my graphics card, is 58 degrees Celsius. So I looked that up immediately, and I'm like, so that's a little bit on the warm side, but that's not awful. Like, it's not burning up. It's just kind of warm, okay? Then I look at the processor, and this program tells me, you ready for this? Your processor is running at 128 degrees Celsius. So apparently my processor is sitting inside of a volcano. Like, what? 100. At first, I actually freaked out. I was like, oh, shit. Is my processor about to melt and explode? Because, you know, I'm not a techie guy these days anymore. I used to be, but I'm not anymore. So I read the readout. I'm like, oh, my God, that's insane. Because at first I thought 128 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, that's kind of hot. If it was 128 degrees Fahrenheit, it'd be really hot. But I was like, Celsius? That's even hotter in Celsius, right? That's like you're in the center of the sun. So I'm thinking, this can't possibly be right, right? So immediately, I start looking up alternate things. I found another program. I run it. Everything's fine. All the processor cores are fine. They're running between like 38 to 45 degrees, which is normal. The GPU is normal. Everything's normal. And I was like, so here's what it is. If I really was a high-end gamer and I had an overclocked PC running at the highest ends, then you absolutely need to have tons of cooling. You need to have all this temperature management. This PC literally just sits here. The CPU encodes the videos. The GPU encodes the streams. That's all it does. It's not overclocked. In fact, it's barely, like right now, my CPU is running at 42%. Woo, right? GPU is probably at like 50. So because of that, it's perfectly fine. It's never going to overheat, you know? So I don't have to really worry about it, which is good. Because I was like, oh crap, but the fan's dying out now. Is this whole thing going to overheat? But the answer is no. Now, every once in a while, I will keep testing it just to be sure. But for now, it seems all right. And the truth is, we're definitely at end of life at this point. Okay, we are. Like 10 years. 10 years. There's absolutely no way that this thing is going to be lasting forever. A decade is a long time. This is the longest I've ever used a PC in my life. You know, I'm 42 years old. I've never had a PC for 10 years before. So it's definitely at the end of its life cycle. I'm thinking, you know, we're going to have to do something. And I already have a couple ideas of what to do. So probably, no lie, probably over the summertime into the fall is going to be the time to convert over, to move everything over to another computer. Okay? So we'll talk about that, I'm sure, soon. Just not today. We don't have time on the podcast. Okay? So, outside of that, a couple things. So number one, it was just a normal day off where I had to run errands and do the like. It's actually next week where we're going to have a very hectic day off where we have to run around and do a bunch of appointments in one day. But this week, it was more laid back, but it was hot. We've actually hit a heat wave here in Washington, and it's unsure if this is going to stay now because we're almost at summertime anyway, so it would make sense if the hot temperature stayed. But it was in the mid to high 70s outside, but in the sun, it felt like 90. So I'm out doing errands, and I'm sweating. I had to turn on the AC, pump it up in the car all day when I was out. So two quick things. Sometimes people ask me, you know, hey, what does your wife play right now? Because people are curious what Kat's into, right? So after having played Fallout 3 a second time, and this time doing all the side missions and content that she was interested in, she was bored and didn't know what else to play. There's like nothing else out right now that she's interested in. Of all the games she played, get this. She's playing Mass Effect Andromeda. So you already know, if you've played Mass Effect Andromeda, or maybe you've heard, it's not a very good game. Although it has interesting story elements and ideas, it falls flat on its face more often than not. It has a lot of really bad, very, very bad elements to it. Bad gameplay when it comes to the combat. Very grindy gameplay when it comes to the combat. They tried this cover-based system copying Gears of War, and it fails miserably. It just doesn't work well. The frame rate, even running it on the Series S, so this is a whole console gen later, it's still choppy as shit. Like, she's trying to fight in combat, and it's going from, like, you know, 45, 50 frames down to, like, 20 frames during combat. So it's hard to even fight. You get overwhelmed by enemies. You can't fucking see anything. And yes, she's running into the same problems that I did. Oh my God, why do you have to drive around the planets endlessly trying to figure out how to get from point A to point B? Did they not understand that's not fun to spend a half an hour driving around trying to find your mission objective? Oh my God, why is the combat so grindy and so fucking repetitive? And then you get to those fucking giant worm alien monster things that are made of metal. Those are a nightmare. Anytime you have to fight one of those in the game, it's like you just want to punch yourself in the nuts. It's like, oh my God, it's such torture. The game won't run well. And, yeah, I'm telling you, it's just it's not good. So the thing is, there's things she likes about it. She had played it when it was new, but she didn't get very far. So now she's playing it, and she's like, man, I like the story elements. I like some of the characters and their story arcs, but I hate all this gameplay. And I'm like, yeah, that's how everyone felt when it came out. And think about this. If you were a big fan of Mass Effect when that came out, you thought this is the game that's going to kind of reboot Mass Effect because the trilogy had been over for a bit. You're thinking, this is the new one. You play it, like, what the fuck did they do? Right? Like, they ruined everything. They really went the wrong direction. A lot of people were hoping Mass Effect was going to go back to the RPG style of, like, Mass Effect 1. Boy, did they botch that. There's not even an affinity system in that game where you're either Paragon or Renegade. They took that out, and that's one of everyone's favorite things. So anyway, she's suffering through that. And then also, we started watching a show, BattleBots, on HBO Max. Well, it's just Max. I used to watch BattleBots over 20 years ago, either on like Sci-Fi Channel or Spike TV, whatever it was on. And back then, it was a very primitive show. I compare early BattleBots to like the early UFC. Like when the early UFC started, it was like a sumo wrestler versus a kickboxer. You know, a Greco-Roman wrestler against a capoeira fighter, right? It was weird because it was like these oddball matchups. This was before MMA even existed. It was brutal and it was dirty. Well, that's how early like BattleBots was too. It was like, it's a bot that runs around and just swings a fucking hammer against a bot that has like 2 kitchen knives and goes crazy like this. And you'd be like, what the hell? Like, this is insane. And then what would happen is 90% of the bots sucked ass because they weren't actually good. There was one little bot that would be like a flat slab, and he would just go flip and flip all the bots and win the whole tournament. So it was wild. Like, oh my God, you know, back then it was so cool to see it in action for the first time. I actually liked the show back then. So now, the show's different. We started watching, I guess they have it on Max starting from 2018, and there's like 6 seasons on there, something like that. And wow, it's cool. Like, BattleBots is super fun. The bots are all creative and cool looking. They all have neat things on them now that make them look nice, but also a lot of them have really cool, effective things you wouldn't expect. You got morons making bots that look like hamburgers that don't even do anything because they're stupid and they lose instantly. But you got these really neat bots that don't look like they do anything and then they kick ass. And now they're all like fucking going into each other with blades and there's sparks flying everywhere and stuff. It's actually a really good show. I actually really like it. So we watched a few episodes of it last night. We were really enjoying it. We're probably going to watch a heck of a lot more of it now, whatever's on Max there, because it was actually quite entertaining. So that's kind of what we did on our day off. Nothing too special or anything like that. So we should go right into the news. Let's cover a few quick news stories. Then I'll talk about the schedule, and that's going to be it for today's show because we just don't have a lot of time. So, gaming news. First of all, statistics update. As we all know, Street Fighter 6's balance patch / Akuma release has been out for over 2 weeks now. And there's some interesting statistics. What people did is they started looking at win-loss ratios to see, since the balance patch, what is the biggest differential? Who's the biggest winner and loser of this balance patch of Street Fighter 6 within the first 2 weeks? So get this. Here's what they did. They took a look at percentage of ranking points. Okay? How many characters are winning more? How many characters are losing more? Okay? The character that is absolutely the best, meaning is winning way more, and this is a humongous differential. It's like an average master rank difference from top players compared to previous phase. Zangief. Okay? Most people playing Zangief at the master level have increased by 49 ranks. They jumped up 49 ranks in master. That's huge. And like I said, when I played Zangief, I definitely noticed some big differences. I think he's way better now. He does, well, in some cases, he does more damage. He has normals that combo a lot easier, which is great. Higher priority on certain normals, which is great. A lot of improvements in tools there, okay? Ryu has gone up 33 master ranks. So Ryu, again, monstrously improved. His tool set is better now. His use of fireballs, his normals have been buffed. Everything's buffed, okay? Aki, number 3 most improved. 30 ranks up. That's not surprising at all. Did you see the Akis that I've been fighting? She seems way better now. Like, dramatically improved compared to how she used to play. Her normals have higher priority. She has better, like, combos, I think, now. Everything just seems better with her now. Rashid is 4th. 4th. Increasing by 23 ranking points. Just under him is Dalsim with 22. Jury is 20. Jury actually went up by 20 ranks. So Jury, apparently, who was already top tier, got improved. And Honda went up about 19 ranking points. Okay? Then you have the mid-tier. Jamie, Kimberly, Lily, Ken, Minot, all in the middle. Then you've got the characters that are almost like untouched. So Marisa, Cammy, Chun-Li. But now we're going to talk, and JP as well, kind of just stayed the same. The characters that are the biggest losers, Luke, DJ, Blanca, and Guile have all dipped a dramatic amount of ranking points. Okay? So, it seems like they're the losers of the patch, although it's weird because I'm not aware of what they actually nerfed for Guile. I thought that they had buffed him, but maybe I don't know. Game Pass games that are arriving. Octopath Traveler 1 and 2 were surprise dropped. They are on Game Pass right now, and you can play them on any Xbox console. On the 12th of June, depersonalization, or depersonalization, whatever that is. On the 13th, Isanzo and the Callisto Protocol. Yes, Callisto Protocol will be on Game Pass. And on the 18th, Still Wakes the Deep. Yes, I am playing Still Wakes the Deep. We have updates in regards to the Dragon Age franchise. Finally, we have information. Dragon Age the Veilguard, okay, is coming out. Well, we don't know when it's coming out, but on June 11th. So that is 4 days from today. What, Tuesday? They're actually going to release a 15-minute gameplay trailer / preview to show everyone Dragon Age. And yes, it's true. They have renamed the game. It used to be called, Dawn Wolf or something like that. Something Wolf, it was called. It's been changed. It's now called The Veilguard. So they've changed the name of the game completely. Does that actually mean that the actual game's plot is different? Don't know. What Well, we have a big leak. The upcoming Sonic Generations remake, which is supposed to come out this year, and now it's supposed to feature Shadow the Hedgehog with brand new levels, has had the cover art and release date and pricing all leaked. The box art is on the internet. You can find it already. It's called Sonic X Shadow Generations. It's releasing on October 25th. So I'm actually going to put that into my release listing now because, yes, I am interested in that. So that is Sonic X Shadow Generations. October 25th. And it is being sold for a discounted price of only $49.99. So they're not charging you $70 for this game, which makes fucking sense because it's not a new game. It's just Sonic Generations again with better graphics and some new levels added in for Shadow. So it would be pretty messed up if they tried to charge you top dollar for that, no? Lastly, in an odd move, which I don't understand, a new game by one of the original makers of Silent Hill is actually coming out this year. In November 8th, it's called Slitterhead. It is an action horror game, and apparently they're supposed to highly show it. Like today, I think, on Summer Game Fest, they're supposed to show it off for the very first time. Why they decided to talk about it yesterday, the day before Summer Game Fest, instead of just waiting to premiere it at Summer Game Fest, I have no idea. Also, I have absolutely no idea what Slitterhead means. So there you go. All right, that's the news for today, folks. I know we're turboing through the podcast because we have very limited time here today. Schedule. Today, here's the deal. Right after this podcast ends in like 10 minutes, we're going to get set up and we're going to play Fallout 4 for about an hour and a half, maybe hour 45 minutes. Then we're all going to collectively swap over to the DSP Reacts channel, where I'm going to do a live react to about the 2-hour showcase called Summer Game Fest. So you can watch the whole thing over on DSP Reacts live with me. Then after it's over, I'm going to do a recap reactions, which essentially is I'm going to be talking to the camera in a separate video where I summarize everything that was at the show and I tell you my opinions on it. That's the kind of video I used to make, but people are dying for the live reaction, so I'm doing both. Now, I'm just going to say this. The live react thing I tried last year didn't really work. I'm telling you, like, it didn't really work at all. The days when I did the live reacts, I put in extra work, and I ended up having slow days. This year, I'm hoping that's not the case. This year, I'm hoping people will actually show up and hopefully support this effort. If this is the second straight year where it's dead and people don't really care, I'm not doing it anymore. All right? I'm just being honest. Like they say, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. People have been yelling and saying, please live react. Please live react. Okay, I'm going to do it. But if it doesn't work out this year, I'm done live reacting. I'm just going to do my old recap reactions like I used to. And I'm going to stop bending over backwards to do the live stuff when no one seems to care. All right? But you guys said you wanted it. All right? So let's see how it goes. Okay? Please support the efforts. Whether it's this stream here or the stream over on DSP Reacts, doesn't really matter. But as long as you support the stream, please do. Okay? All right. So that's today's first stream. It's going to be half here and half over on DSP Reacts. Yes, that stream on DSP Reacts is going to run way longer than usual. Usually my streams end 4 p.m., but Summer Game Fest probably won't be ending till like 4 p.m., so I'm going to do my live recap reactions and go over, okay? Then tonight, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, here on DSP Gaming, Friday Night Fights at Street Fighter 6, and I'm debating what to do, and here's why, okay? Sadly, there is no co-op with Brian tonight. Not co-op, but there's no lobby with Brian tonight. He has told me that he's basically just slammed with work, and he doesn't know if he's going to be able to make it home in time to do our stream. And therefore, he'd rather say, hey, I'm not committing to it. Let's reschedule. And we are. It looks like we're probably going to try to reschedule for sometime next week. Okay, so it's not, oh, we're not doing it. It's just that we can't do it tonight. This is what I was worried about when I told you on Wednesday. He said things were happening behind the scenes against his control, and he didn't know if he was going to be able to make it. And it looks like rather than rush to do it, which would make no sense, let's just relax a little bit and set it up for a date when we're absolutely sure he can do it, okay? So, that leaves me open to do whatever I want to do tonight. But here's the thing. I was going to do Akuma, but I didn't have time to watch any Akuma gameplay at all. So if I try Akuma tonight, I'm going to kind of just be going off of memory from 2 weeks ago, not looking at any new strategies or anything. And I don't know if that's going to be enough to really fly playing online. You know what I'm saying? So I'm actually not sure what to do. Like, I'm kind of craving going back to either Honda or Dalsim, who I haven't played with in a while. It's been 2 weeks, basically. And I'm like, dude, I would love to play one of those. But I don't know if that's what I should do or if I should just flub it with Akuma. You know, I really have no clue what I should be doing. So we're definitely doing Street Fighter tonight. I just don't know what. I think we should talk about it and figure that out, okay? Maybe we'll discuss it while I'm playing Fallout or whatever and try to figure it out. At least people know what's going on tonight. So there is Street Fighter. There is Friday Night Fights. It's just not the lobby with Brian. That's going to take place likely sometime next week. We're going to try to set it up ahead of time so everyone knows when it is. and we'll go from there. But tonight, I'm just not sure what I'm doing in Street Fighter 6, but it's going to be Street Fighter 6. Okay? Cool. All right, tomorrow, it's going to be the continuation of Crow Country on the first stream. And by the way, I just want to say something. Thank you to everyone who is watching Crow Country on demand and leaving nice comments. It seems there is a group of very appreciative people who like the fact that I'm playing this indie game. I actually really like it. I actually can't wait to get back to it. I'm craving playing more of it. Despite the fact that half the crowd that was there on Tuesday was complaining that they didn't like the way it looked. I love it. And I cannot wait for more. So I hope you guys will join me for that tomorrow. If you like, classic survival horror, okay? Then tomorrow night on the late stream, we're either doing Noita or we're doing Stardew Valley. But I don't know what we're doing. I haven't decided yet. I would like to play either. I feel like Noita is going to be challenging and death-filled but silly fun because I'm not going to take it ultra seriously. And that's the kind of game it is. Or Stardew Valley could be just ultra chill where we talk and interact and hang out and relax while I'm playing a relaxing game. So I think either one would work. I'm just not sure which one, okay? We have to figure that out. Like, what do we want to do for tomorrow night? So let's talk about that over today as well and try to figure that out. Sunday. Man, my content on Sunday is dramatically different. I'm starting way early. My stream will start around 9:30 to 9:45 a.m., and it's over on DSP React. It's my live react to the Xbox Gaming Showcase. It starts at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So I'm going to be streaming way earlier than usual over on DSP Reacts. There will be no podcast on Sunday because of this. I'm going to do a live react to that, plus a live react to the Xbox event that's happening directly after. Excuse me, a live react to the Black Ops event, Black Ops 6 event that's happening directly after, okay? And then after that, I'm doing my recap reactions. Dependent on how long that takes, if there's extra time and it's not 4 p.m. Pacific time yet, I may switch back over to DSP Gaming and do some Fallout. But it really depends on how long the event goes because no one knows how long the event's going to be. The rumor is the Xbox event may be 2 hours long, and then the Call of Duty event maybe half an hour. And if that's the case, I mean, that's crazy, right? So imagine that. Imagine we're going to like 1 p.m. before I even start doing recap reactions, right? So that's my Sunday stream, and then there may or may not be gameplay. Sunday night on DSP Throwback, it is the premiere of the Retro React of Rise of Nightmares. This was one of the best co-op playthroughs from back in the day. And when I say best, I mean Laugh Riot. The game sucks. It's a horror game that uses the Kinect, and it doesn't really work. Like, the Kinect is kind of not functional. There's entire segments of the game where John and I are trying to do stuff, and the Kinect does not agree with us or work. I believe we did picture-in-picture for this one. So you actually get to see us trying to do the stuff while we're playing the game, and it just doesn't work. It's funny as hell. So if you want to see something really funny, come by to DSP Throwback, my other channel, on Sunday night. It's going to be a really special event. Now, before people freak out, the reason that we're doing that is very simple. I had a poll up over the course of the week. You know, what game do you guys want to see me redo the Retro React to next? And there were 4 options. It was New Super Mario Bros. Wii, Rise of Nightmares, Rayman Origins, and Donkey Kong Country Returns. The poll ran for 3 days, and we had around 300 votes, and Rise of Nightmares was clearly in the lead by like 50%. It was like way the big leader. So then all of a sudden, overnight, there's an influx of like 350 votes, and they all voted for Rayman Origins. Bullshit. Those are my trolls. I'm not stupid. They're idiotically left comments. Gee, is this working? Haha, look, we turned the poll. I'm not even kidding you. They're that stupid. They actually left comments on it saying that they were doing it. So I knew that the majority of people who actually watched the content wanted to see Rise of Nightmares. So I said, fuck this, and I closed the poll. And we're doing Rise of Nightmares on Sunday night. the trolls are fucking morons. They thought they were gonna, like, fool me. What do you think? I'm dumb? You know, like, I don't look at the poll to realize that that happened, right? So anyway, that's Sunday. Monday is weird as well. On Monday, I'm actually doing my React show, DSP versus the Internet, over on DSP Reacts because I can't do it Sunday because we're doing the Xbox Showcase. So Monday is the React show for the clips, and then Monday night will be Street Fighter 6. Again, I'll try to get in contact with Brian and figure out what day we're going to be doing that. If it's not him, I'll be doing another character online. Tuesday will be more Crow Country, and Tuesday night will be another indie game, whether it's either Noita or Stardew Valley, not sure. And then Wednesday will be Fallout 4 and Street Fighter 6, and that's the streaming week. Okay? I have to do shout-outs, and then we're ending the show. We have to, because I have to get to Fallout, okay? So first of all, thank you to Hair of the Dog. Hair of the Dog did a super chat yesterday. I wasn't even here yesterday, and they did a super chat on the stream. Thank you, Hair of the Dog. I appreciate that. I don't know why it came on yesterday, but that's greatly appreciated. Casanova has hit 36 months as a member, getting their diamond crown, and says, how are you, Phil? I got the new crown. I'm good. I'm reinvigorated for a new week. I'm rested. I'm feeling positive. I'm excited for today. So good stuff today. Thank you, Casanova. Nathan Smith gifted a membership, and it went to... I can't see who it went to. Hold on. Maybe I can see it this way. I still can't see who it went to. So whoever it went to, congratulations and enjoy. Be sure to thank Nathan. And Nathan, thank you for supporting the channel. I really appreciate that. And I just got a super chat from Gustavo Fring, who says, good to see you and chat. How are we today? We are good, but we are very craving delicious fried chicken. I'm not sure if you know anywhere we could get some. Thank you so much, Gustavo Fring. Okay. Moving right along, we have tips to shout out. First tip of the day is a very generous $20 tip from Jordan saying that people are making him feel uncomfortable and unwelcome. Well, I want to know who is doing this and how they are doing it, because that is not allowed. I absolutely do not like hearing news about this. And if this is a thing going on and people are feeling unwelcome on my streams, I want to know exactly why and what and how. So Jordan, feel free to reach out to me behind the scenes if you want to shoot me an email. I don't like that at all. Everyone is welcome, and everyone should feel at home and safe and having a good time on my streams. No one should feel like they're being mistreated or anything like that. So, Jordan, I'm sorry to hear that. And you know, guys, maybe it's time for us to reassess our behavior a bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, time to relax. It's time for a fun atmosphere with Summer Game Fest. It's not a place for people to be, like, bullying each other and being dicks to each other. So please do not do that. And Jordan, again, I'd love to hear behind the scenes what's going on if I can do anything about it. Sorry about that if I've missed it. I received a $1 tip. Yes, from Don Fanucci saying, why have I been permanently banned? Don Fanucci, you were banned because the other day, as I'm sitting here playing Street Fighter, and obviously when I'm playing Street Fighter, I'm concentrating on the game, you, among other people, decided to come onto my stream and talk about Wings of Redemption being shirtless. I don't give two fucks about Wings of Redemption or anyone else being fucking shirtless, you idiot. You want to derail my stream anymore, possibly, go do it somewhere else. It was absolutely ridiculous that you did that. And you were doing it over and over. You weren't even shutting up about it. It's like, I saw you say it once, okay, maybe I'll give him a pass. You're literally sitting here obsessing about a man's boobs. You're talking about them in my chat. I was like, what the fuck is your problem? I'm trying to play Street Fighter with Blanca. I don't give two fucks about that guy and what he's doing on his streams. Go, if you want to see that content, good for you. Go watch it. You don't talk about it in my chat. So that's why you're banned. So why don't you think about how stupid you acted the other day? And if you actually want to be unbanned, you can email me later. Not today, because I'm not unbanning you today, because you're an idiot. Okay. I received a $3.50 tip from Lady Charisma. Funny you mentioned the PC. I sent a video for your React show this week about a line of pre-built PCs, and I feel it's the best line for what you would use it for. Even if it's meant for gaming, it would be useful for you to check out. I'm glad you've been enjoying the videos on animation the past few weeks. I have. They've been very good submissions, so thank you for those, and I look forward to seeing your submission this week. Your submissions are usually quite good, I would say. At least the ones that I know are from you, because, you know, I don't always look at the name or whatever, but absolutely, thank you so much. Okay, so guys, that's it. Like I said, super abridged podcast today. Because now what I want to do is I want to get set up and I want to get working here. I want to play some Fallout. I want to get gameplay in before we have to do this React event, okay? So I'm going to say thank you all. You were understanding that the show had to be short today. Thanks for the early support. I appreciate that. Remember, any support on this stream technically is my first stream, even though we're going to be doing the React over there on DSP Reacts. Any support on this stream. In fact, I would argue a lot of people may not be supporting during the live React portion of the other stream because we're all watching, right? Now would be a good time if you want to support now, so I can give you a full shout out and everything during Fallout 4. And that way, we're in the clear, and I could just focus on the React. That's what I'm thinking, you know. Because if you guys do contribute during the live portion, you know, I'm going to try to shout stuff out, but I'm going to be paying attention to what's going on the event more than anything else. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, excuse me. Oh, let's see here. John, yes, Fallout in just moments. We're going to set up Fallout here. Jade says, I don't know if you'll see me during Fallout and Summer Game Fest. You will see me tonight. Sounds good. And Tam Jam has become a supporter and says, what are tips for someone new to Street Fighter 6? My best tip would be to definitely take advantage of the lots of stuff in the game built for newcomers. The game has an extensive tutorial mode to teach you the basics, lots of trials and things for you to try. If you want to hone in on one particular character, each character has their own character tutorials and trials. By far, this game has more content in that regard than any fighting game I've ever played. They really did a good job with that. Focus in on that stuff. Learn your basics. Don't play ultra serious. Go to casual matches. Play a bunch of people. Don't get upset if you lose. As long as you're playing and maybe you're learning something when you play, that's all it's all about. You don't have to be winning constantly. You know, don't take ranked too seriously, especially if you're a newcomer. A lot of people start playing ranked and they're like, oh, I lost 5 in a row. I'm so disheartened. Doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. None of this matters. It really doesn't. Play it for fun. And eventually, once you get into a groove with a certain character, then you'll start to like it more. Okay? That's my advice. Okay. Are we good? My week is going good, John. Thank you. Although my week, technically, this is like the beginning of my week for me. Abdullah says, play more Street Fighter 6 in your live streams. Well, I try to play as much as I do. I've already been told there's too much fighting game content by certain people. Yes, people are complaining there's too much fighting game content. And even then, I can't keep up with the 5 characters I'm using. So, you know, I would like to play more, but it is what it is. Still DeCubo says, I did up my first rank placement. I got bronze. Hey, that's better than, what is it, stone? What's under bronze in this game? Iron or something like that? There's like 2 placements under there. So don't feel bad. If you're a newbie, never feel bad if you're playing and you're not immediately jumping ahead and doing well, you know? It's quite hard. These games are quite difficult. But yeah, Street Fighter 6, I just want to make something abundantly clear here. Street Fighter 6 is a difficult game. There's a lot of systems in Street Fighter 6. There's more systems built into Street Fighter 6 than any other fighting game from Capcom. I mean, just think about it. You got drive parry, perfect drive parry, drive rush, drive reversal, drive impact. That's 5 different systems you have to learn in order to even understand basic combat in the game. And then there's so many other systems that are already a part of established Street Fighter that aren't new, that you kind of are already expected to know. 2-in-1s, you know, high-low mix-ups, how to block, how to break throws, all that is like, oh, you should already know that. Plus, here's 5 new systems. It's super complicated. So if you're a newcomer, do not feel bad if you feel overwhelmed and you're not getting it right away. Dude, I've played Street Fighter my whole life. It probably took me 3 months to understand it, right? It did. I didn't really get it and start doing drive rush attacks and things until like 2-3 months in. So don't feel bad at all. Okay. Oh, the membership went to Stuber. Well, congratulations, Stuber, on getting the gifted membership. There you go. Why is chat against World of Warcraft? Because I tried playing it and trolls ruin it. Just like many, many things, I can't do things a lot of other content creators do. If I tried to play World of Warcraft, they would immediately find the server I'm on, go there, stalk me, harass me, kill mobs, just follow me around, and do dumb shit. It doesn't work. I tried it twice, 2 different times. Neither time was it playable. So I can't really do MMOs because of that, and that's just life. They ruin it just like everything else. They're fucking scumbags. Okay. Holy shit, what is this? I just received an incredibly generous $76 tip. A $76 tip from Darren. Let me play an animation and let's see what Darren has to say, because I was about to adjourn the show. Here we go. Thank you so much, Darren. That means we're going to have a hat today. By the way, if we do a vest, I'm just going to take off the shirt, because obviously I can't wear a vest over an already shirt that's on a t-shirt, so I'll just wear a vest over the black t-shirt if we do a vest today. Okay, so Darren says, I'm glad to hear you're looking to upgrade your PC possibly in the summer. Have fun with Summer Game Fest later. I'm not expecting much, but when you joke around with chat and stuff, it still could be a great time for all. Yeah, I'm going to be reacting live as best as I can, joking around, having a good time, talking about what we're watching, right? And that's why I'm doing the two versions. One will be a way to watch the Game Fest with me live, while the other is actually get my kind of opinions after they've sunk in for a little bit. So there you go. All right, I'll put up a poll for a hat. By the way, the hat, I'm going to try to do non-ridiculous, intrusive hats, since I am going to be watching Summer Game Fest with you guys later. Let's see. Which hat is Game Fest best? The red fedora, the cowboy hat, the Los Santos cap, or the beret. There we go. Those are non-intrusive, non-ridiculous giant character hats that I could wear. That would be fine, I feel, for today's show. So, okay, so please vote. In the meantime, it is time to adjourn. We have to adjourn, guys, so that I can get Fallout set up. Thank you all. It's been a quick show. I hope you enjoyed. Tomorrow, obviously, we're going to be talking all about what happened at Summer Game Fest. We're going to be talking about Street Fighter. We'll have a lot of things to discuss on tomorrow's full-length podcast show. Thank you so much, and I'll see you then.